As my brother from another mother, Baba Tundi Ajayi says, dream it, believe it, become it. Now, this is our next guest, right, on The Fight is Right for our podcast is a man that was a former IBF world featherweight champion, a beautiful human being and a beautiful brother. The man beat men in the ring, and he also, by the grace of God, has come out victorious against cancer. Without further ado, let's bring in my brother, live from Australia, Billy Dib.
Hey,
Billy, you're not a kid no more, my friend.
I'm not a kid no more, man. I'm a grown up now.
You're grown up now. Um, for people who don't know your story, um, I want to get to the boxing bit later, right? But what I want to talk about is that you've just beaten cancer, Billy. How does that make you feel inside?
It just makes me feel grateful, man. I'm grateful that the Almighty gave me more time because, you know, time is something that we can never get back, Spence. And
Hmm.
the fact that God's given me more time to be in this earth and on this earth with my family, my wife, my beloved son, my family, I just feel so blessed right now, man, because during my time in hospital, you know, as sad it is to say this, but I seen three people die while I was in there, man.
Mm.
You know, so the fact that God allowed me out of that place is just a miracle in itself, man. Because there was times that I believed that, you know what, like this thing is impossible to overcome. You know, and the only thing that's going to get me through this is going to be the grace and the mercy of God.
I mean, bro, you were doing videos constantly on Instagram. Yeah, I mean, I remember there was a video you said like, please, you don't want to die because you want to be there for your child, for your son. You
Yeah,
know, um, and it was emotional because I've been fortunate. I've run quite a few foundations, and I've done this where people who are ill, who are like boxing fans, and they'll reach out to you, and they're ill with cancer, and I'll go and visit them and stuff like that. And and I'm telling you, the win loss ratio, it's about 60-40 in the favor of the losses.
yeah,
So when you're seeing like this, and I know because like last year I lost my mom due to cancer. And but when you see a guy like you, who I'm just gonna be real, he's just a beautiful, humble brother. You're good people,
thank you, brother. Thank you so
right? I'm not lying. I'm telling you the truth though. And so when I heard that, I remember I was reaching out and sending you messages, sending you duas and everything else. But I could imagine like everybody, because anyone who meets you knows that you're a nice guy. You're a genuine person. I could just imagine how many well wishes and everything else you were getting. What was that like?
It was humbling, man. It was so humbling and overwhelming. The amount of love and support that I received from the world was just so humbling, man. And like everybody was like, I got you in my prayers. I'm praying for you." People were messaging me saying, "Man, I don't even believe in God, but I'm praying for you." You know, like I don't believe. People were messaging me saying, "I'm not a man of faith, but I'm praying for you. This is the first time I've ever prayed in my life, but I'm praying that you get through this." When you get messages like that, that just lifts you, you know, and like you feel like you have a responsibility. And I feel like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He gave me this sickness as a responsibility, you know, like that I had to be responsible and use my platform to show people that through faith, through love, through family, through friendship, you can overcome this, man. Like one of those things, you know, like I wasn't going to give up, Spence. I never had like there was times that I did see death, and there was times that I did ask Allah to take me, and I was like, "Ya Rab, if you've opened up a place for me in Jannah, please God take me now because I can't take this pain anymore." Every single time that I called upon Allah to take me, He never took me. But you know what He did instead? He sent somebody to heal me, man, or to fix me, or to give me some sort of medication to make me feel better. And honestly, Allah, it's like I've always had such a connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I've always been really close. but this brought me like on like tenfold closer. You know what I mean? I was like, how could you not believe in God with what I was going through? I was like, how is it possible that people don't believe in God? I just don't understand.
Um, it's like when we look at something like this, it's like, and it's amazing. It's truly amazing because you only found out this week, right?
That's correct.
Right. And you're on the Fight Is right now. So I'm really, really honored to have you. Like, of all the guests that we've had, to me, this is one of the personal favorites for the
Thank
simple fact that when I saw the post, you said, yeah, the cancer's in remission. Because I'm not going to lie, you said, like, oh, you put up a post, you said, like, today I find out. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, please, oh God, I'm praying now. Please, please, oh God, listen to my prayers. Like, don't let this brother die. You know what I mean? And I know, like I was saying earlier, like anyone who's met you would have that same feeling because, like, it wasn't easy, man. It was not easy.
You know, it's crazy because I just said to my wife literally about 20 minutes ago, I said to her, very 5.5 months ago, doctors said I'll be dead in 6 months. And I go, and I'm alive and I'm well now and I'm in remission. And that's only because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has spared me. You know what I mean? Like Allah chooses who He gives life to and who He takes life from. I feel so blessed that, like I keep saying, I was given more time because some people, Spence, they die in a car accident and been given no time. You know what I mean? They'll take in an instant, in an accident, in a tragedy, and something happens to people, and they get taken in such a tragic way. They told that the surrounding them is that they love them, that they care about them, and Allah gave me that, and now He's given me the opportunity now, as a cleansed soul, because I feel so cleansed right now to just better my life. You know what I mean? Better my life and try to shed light on many other people's lives. That's what I want to do today. You know what I mean? I want to be one of those people who I'm not going to shy away about talking about this because this is going to be something that's going to help other people, and that's what I'm here to do. I'm just here to help people. I want to be that person who is a light for some people because these are dark times, man. When you're in a situation like this, it's dark for people, and if you could be light for that person, then that's just a blessing in itself.
Amazing, truly amazing. All right, your career. The night that you became the world IBF featherweight champion of the whole wide world.
Hmm.
I remember watching you fight because originally how we got to know each other, I used to send you a lot of abuse on Twitter.
Try it. Try it,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, because I wanted you to fight one of the guys that I was working with in Troy, right?
Try
But all tongue in cheek, and then like one of my guys who I know, Karen Bain, said that he was living out in Australia. Said, "Yeah, I met Billy. He's such a nice guy, Spence. You got to lay off with him." I said, "No, just because Troy didn't really speak that good English because he's from Mongolia, and like he was up in the IBF rankings as well. I desperately wanted to get my world title fight, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And like, but then I started to watch you, and I said, you got some skills, bro.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Very quick hands, good foot movement. What was the fight? Jorge,
Last year. Oh,
yeah, Lasivela, who you beat for the IBF title, and you totally schooled him. What was
yeah.
that feeling like?
It was just the most unbelievable night of my life. It was like nothing could go wrong on that night, subhanallah. It's like even my feeling, my mother's feeling, my siblings, my father, everybody just felt like it was the night that it was going to be. And like I remember going to the mosque on the morning of the fight. It was a Friday. The fight was happening on a Friday night, and I went to the mosque for Jummah prayer. And the Sheikh asked me to get up and say a few words, and I said, "You know what, Sheikh, I got really nothing much to say, but I'm gonna say a few things." So I got up and I said to the people, I said, "Listen, I appreciate everyone's support, but I want you to do me a favor right now. I want you to make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that if this is good for me and good for the ummah, that Allah grant me this victory. But if it's no good for me and no good for the ummah, then Allah to take it away. And it's like when I was walking out of the mosque, everybody was like, listen, you're going to win tonight. You're going to win tonight. You're going to win tonight. Everyone was like telling me, Allah's going to grant you victory tonight. So when I got to the venue, I was like, all I had to do was turn up. I had already won. All I had to do was just get to the 12th round and hear that bell, and the belt was going to be mine. And it's like, I was so confident, subhanAllah. And, I had previously won the IBO world title. And the IBO world title was like it's
Stepping,
a stepping
good
stone.
stepping stone. Good stepping stone.
It's a stepping stone. But the IBF was my opportunity to solidify myself as a legitimate champion. And I got to do that. And I got to live out my dream, and the run that came after that, defending my title against Servidi, against Escobedo.
No, but Servady was a good win because I remember you bashed him in one round, and like
Yeah,
people were saying that Billy Dib weren't no puncher. You
yeah.
was on fire that night, my friend.
And he was European champion. So like when you were a kid, right? When I was a kid, Spence, when I was 12 years of age, if I could have fast forward to the age of 26, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would have showed me that I was a two-time world champion, I would have been I would have been over the moon, man. I would have been like, this is amazing. This is everything I've ever dreamed of. And Spence, during my career, I was involved in I think it was like 11 world title fights. And
Hmm.
I I fought for 5 world titles. And in my life, I only begged Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to win 2 of those world title fights. I actually begged Allah to give me the IBO world title, and I begged him to give me the IBF world title. I begged him. And the reason why I begged Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the IBF world title is because Prince Nassim Hamed was my childhood hero. And I loved him so much, and I knew everything about his history that he had achieved, title defenses, who he beat. And when he fought for the IBF world title against Tom Boom Boom Johnson,
That was in London,
it was 1997.
'97. You know why? Because I was at that fight, and it was at the London Arena. And I was
Yeah,
at that fight in '97.
yeah.
And the only way, because also I'll tell you who's also on the undercard of that fight. Steve Collins was on the undercard of that fight, and also Robin Reed. It was a Frank Warren show,
I
and yeah,
remember.
I remember that. Yeah, it was. Oh, we've lost you there. All right, yeah. So I remember that night very clear. And the maddest thing is this, because Lloyd Hannigan, the former undisputed world welterweight champion, he was friends with Tom Boom Boom Johnson, right? And I used to be a barber. I used to cut hair. So
Uh-huh.
he goes, yeah, Tom Boom Boom Johnson wants his haircut. Come round, can you bring your clippers and cut his hair? So I turn up. So I'm kind of a little bit starstruck as well, right?
Yeah,
I'm like, oh, Tom Johnson, right? At that time, I'm what, 21? He goes, yeah, I don't want a specific haircut. I just want you to cut it bald. I want to cut all my hair off. I want to go in there like Marvin Hagler. And yeah, very, very educated man with boxing. But Nassim Hammond was just on fire. I remember he knocks him out with that uppercut, right?
Nas had ferocious power, man. He had concussion power. He
It
had the
was nuts.
he had the checkmate power. You know what I mean? It was like,
Yeah.
he had scary power, and I just what can you say about Nas, man? He's just an amazing, amazing talent, man.
No, Nassim Hammond was incredible. Was absolutely incredible. But yeah, you did. You fulfilled your dream by picking up the IBF title. So what happened with you and 50 Cent? Because I remember 50 Cent was managing you. How did that come about?
Man, so basically, what happened was is I signed a contract to fight with TMT Promotions.
Okay.
Floyd Malver and 50 Cent had this promotional company. They were really interested in signing me up, so I signed the dotted line based on the fact that I was going to be working with Floyd Malver and 50 Cent. And then, cut a long story short, they had a fallout. You
I
know,
remember.
my signature was on the contract with 50 Cent. I couldn't get out of the contract, and basically I ended up with SMS Promotions, which was a little bit of a disaster run. You know what I mean? But I never get upset about anything, Spence, because I look at it like this, man. Everything that is ordained to is only going to happen through Allah's permission, and
Mm,
you know everything that happened to me throughout my whole life is Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala's decree, and I accept it. You know, and I don't never complain, and I'm just grateful that Allah Subhanahu wa Taala allowed me to live out my dreams. I'm grateful that Allah Subhanahu wa Taala allowed me to reach the pinnacle of boxing and win a legitimate world championship and to solidify myself in the history books. Something
mm,
a lot of great fighters who never won world titles. You know what I mean? Great fighters, maybe fighters that were even better than me, definitely better than
mm.
me. They never won world championships. So Allah Subhanahu wa Taala is like so kind to me to allow me to win two world titles is just a complete blessing.
Bro, it's like you lose against Gradovic, right? For the world title. You lose your world title to him, right? Then you challenge him for the title and it didn't work out. Then you kind of move up in weight because like you moved up to super feather,
That's correct.
right? And you buck up against Kevin Farmer, right? Which subsequently you come off, you lose on points to Kevin Farmer. You have one fight, and then you end up fighting Amir Khan. How did that happen when Amir Khan was a welterweight and you haven't boxed as a lightweight? How did that come about?
Man, it was just I guess it was the thing about being in the right place at the right time. You know what I mean? Amir Khan and I have always been friends, and he contacted me and asked me if I'd be interested in fighting on his undercard, and I was like, absolutely. You know what I mean? I love that. And his opponent ended up, injuring himself supposedly. Like I heard rumors that they don't want a Pakistani versus Indian. Whatever it is, I end up getting the call up and saying, "Look, we need a guy to fill in because nobody else has, got a decent enough record to fight me, and you need a visa at the time to get into Saudi Arabia, and they're not going to be able to work out a visa situation for anybody. So, like, do you want to fight a Khan?" And I was like, man, I'm not really that keen to be honest because me and I are friends, number one, and he's a welterweight, probably coming down from like super middleweight, and
Yeah,
I'm a I'm a featherweight who's been fighting at super featherweight, and like now you want me to go up to welterweight, and then when they offered the money, I was like, oh man, oh man, my wife was pregnant too, and I was like, Subhanallah, God is sending the rizq with
yeah,
the boy, you know what I mean? And I was like, man, this is a sign from Allah, you know what I mean? Like, this is Allah sending me something like a gift with this son,
yeah.
and so I took the fight, man, and like as as much as I knew I was up against it, I was like, man, this is just a fantastic opportunity to look after my family for the rest of my life. You know what I mean? So I was like,
Mm. Then you're doing that now. You're doing
yeah,
it now. Because the last time you fought was actually last year. It's a year ago this
yeah,
month.
yeah.
Are you going to continue with the boxing now? What's going to happen with you now, Billy?
I don't know, Spence, man. I don't know. I don't know what Allah's got written for me, man. To be honest with you, it's just like I'm just so glad to be alive right now. Like I just feel blessed to be alive. Truth, and I feel like I'm still not well, Spence. Like I still got the chemo in my body, and
Mm.
I don't feel at times I don't even feel human. So like to say to you I'm gonna come back would be I'd be lying to you. I don't know. I could just say to you that I'm not sure, but if once I get back into this swing of things and take this thing out of my chest and start feeling good and whatever, and you know if I've got the blessings of my family and I might try to have one or two, but we'll just wait and see. You know what I mean? Right now, at this stage,
Yeah,
I'm.
brother, would you like to come back, Billy?
I mean, I'd love to, man. I'd love to. I love the sport of boxing. You know what I mean? And I feel like, you know, my last fight, I got the win via DQ. I was rated number 7 in the world with the IBF,
Against a very good fighter, I may add. Was he 17-0 or something? He was a good kid, man.
15-0. And like
Right. Okay.
I just feel like he had a bit of a brain explosion on that night. You know what I mean? Like things were starting to turn, the tables were starting to turn, and he couldn't handle the pressure that was come with it, and he decided to flip me, man, which is a infringement in boxing. But
Yeah.
these things, you know what I mean? But look, the most important thing for me now is that I'm just alive and I'm there for my son and my wife, and then
Mm,
else that follows after that is just a bonus. And if I do,
okay.
if I don't, then I don't, and I'm just so grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the opportunity to still be in the dunya right now.
Mm. So, brother, there's a couple fights that are going on right now.
Mm.
While you was in Vegas, did you ever spar with Javante Davis?
Nah, man, it was never. I never. I've never even met Javante. I've spoken to him on the phone, but I've never. But he's a phenomenal fighter, man. He's special. You know what I mean? I know the fight you're talking about.
Ryan Garcia, definitely. Yep.
You got two guys who are amazing punchers and like both have contrasting styles. But I don't know what it is about me, but I always think that Javante finds a way to win, man. And I believe
Mm,
he's a way to win this fight as well. You know what I mean? Like I don't think that Ryan Garcia can handle the power from Javante Davis.
mm. You know what? What I've been surprised about because I think they went on tour from 2 days ago, and while I'm watching just the body language, Ryan Garcia really believes that he's got this win. He's like, he's not coming to make up numbers. He's
Yeah,
properly like you can tell. You can tell. You box. You know when fighters are coming to muck around. You know when certain fighters there who is actually coming to fight, and he's actually coming to fight, and he actually believes that he's going to win. So this, as far as I'm concerned, is going to be a great fight. But there's levels to this thing, and I think like Ryan Garcia is going to cause a lot of trouble for Javante Davis. I
I,
really do because of his
I,
hand speed.
I think you think you're right because of his height and his speed and his reach, but Javante Davis always finds a way to win, man. He always finds a way.
He's got that. Listen, he's got that Nassim Hamid power.
Yeah,
That's what
he's
he's got.
checkmate. You know what I mean? He's definitely got that checkmate.
Yeah, definitely. Game over. You know what I mean? Close the board and take off all the pieces off the chessboard because that's the type of power that he possesses. But there's another fight that is really interesting. Devin Haney is going to be up against Lomachenko.
I really believe that Lemachenko's best days are behind him, and I think that Devin Haney's only on the rise. I just
Hmm.
feel that Devin Haney's got the skill set and and the mindset to win this fight. I think that Lemachenko's best days are behind him, and I think that that once Devin Haney fights him, he's going to prove that.
Okay. So you're going for Tank Davis and you're also going for Devin Haney to
Yeah,
come out victorious. Now that you've got this new lease of life, right?
yeah.
Now that you've got this new lease of life, praise be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now you've got this new lease of life. Um, what does the future hold for you?
Man, look, at this stage, as I said, alhamdulillah, I'm in the dunya and I'm alive. I think that, you know what, if I do not box again, my goal and aspiration is to become one of the best keynote speakers in the world. So I'm going to travel the world and tell the world my story, my journey, and um, I've had an incredible life. You know what I mean? Like to still be here and to tell the story is a blessing in itself, man. And I want to share that story with the world.
Do you know, if you're doing that, I think Saudi Arabia would be an excellent place for you to start.
Inshallah.
Yeah, inshallah. Simply because they're revitalizing boxing in that country
Yeah,
hard. We've seen that with School Challenge and Amir Abdullah, who manages Badu Jack, who had a
yeah.
fantastic win recently, who's also a Muslim. I'm gonna send. If you don't know, do you know Abdullah?
I know him very well, man. He's a brother to me.
Well, so I'm saying he's running. He's a beautiful human being, and for something like that, not only that, but you're well versed in articulation of boxing. You can break down things because we've been speaking for years. You can break down fights really good. I could see you doing something out in Saudi Arabia. I really could see you doing something with School Challenge, right? Just on that, and also being a keynote speaker for people because you were inspiring. You inspired me. There's certain time I ain't gonna lie to you. Like I've started therapy since losing my mom. It hasn't been easy for me. But looking at you with your family, your beautiful wife and your little boy, and like you don't know it's through the favor of Allah, through the favor of God, why you beat this, and that was inspiring to see for me. Do you know what I mean? It was inspiring. It was inspiring. Like what you complain about? You think, oh well, this is happening, that's happening. What you complain about? Here is a brother who I know that may not be here next week. You know what I mean? And through the grace of God, you kicked cancer's butt, right?
Um,
All right, that's the biggest victory that should go on Box Rec. That you kick
well,
cancer's butt.
you know, Mauricio Suleiman from the WBC, he actually contacted me a few days ago and said, "Listen, I'm presenting you with the WBC World Championship for beating cancer because not many people do, and you beat cancer and you beat it well." He has said that the next convention, I'm presenting you with the WBC Championship, and you'll be recognized as a champion for beating cancer.
And how beautiful is that, man?
Man,
How beautiful is that?
it's
Billy
a
Dib,
blessing.
I'm not going to keep you any longer. It's been a plum pleasing pleasure to have you on the Fighters Right. I'm Spencer the Knowledge Fearon, and this is Billy the Kid, the man that kicked cancer's butt,
Alhamdulillah.
former
Alhamdulillah.
IBF featherweight champion of the world and IBO champion of the world, my brother Billy Dib. Thank you for being on. You've touched me. You've inspired people today, man. Thank you
Thank
so much, my brother.
I only pray and wish that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala unites us to meet, inshallah, in the dunya and in the akhirah together, brother, because you're a beautiful brother and I look forward to meeting you in person, man.
Inshallah. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Billy Dib. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you very much.